What's up, VC? Ron here, just making a real quick video. This is actually an entry for Dylan over at Noble Records for his contest for 7,000 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. Plus, just opening his record store recently, relatively recently, so congrats on that too. That's awesome. But his contest popped up, and I thought, you know what, I haven't done one of these at all, so I thought, well, what better way to do it than to do one for Dylan here for the Noble Records contest. So whether I win or not, that's neither here nor there, but it's kind of cool to get to know other people within the VC, which is what I'd like to do anyway. So I thought I'd just give that a shot. So listening to Richard Thompson, Mock Tutor. One of my favorite Richard Thompson albums. This is just a great record. If you don't know Richard Thompson, or if you have seen his stuff but haven't listened to it at all, this would be a great place to start. Great record. Love to find this on vinyl. I know they reissued it either a couple years ago, relatively recently. And I know they go for quite a bit of money. But anyway, great album. Just putting that on today while I'm making the video. So first question was best finds that I found this year, I think, or at least in 2019. It was 2020, still relatively early, so I haven't really gotten a whole lot this year, but 2019 was really good, especially December. And the two that I picked for that, first one was an original pressing of King's X, Out of the Silent Planet. Just love this record, love these guys. Just a great power trio, great harmonies on this album. King is Coming, just a great song on here. Just a great record overall. So that was my first pick. And then my other pick was another original pressing, XTC's Oranges and Lemons. Just a great record by Andy Partridge and the boys there. Just love this album and was really pleased to find this at the end of last year. So this was my second pick. The second question is rather subjective, as I'm sure a lot of people have their opinions. And this isn't necessarily the best song ever written, but it's, in my opinion, one of the best songs ever written. And that is Have I Told You Lately That I Love You by Van Morrison. Love Van Morrison. Love this album, Avalon Sunset. This is probably one of my favorite. This one and Hymns to the Silence. Those are probably two of my all-time favorite. And I'd have to say, in Poetic Champions Composed, probably those three would be my three favorites by Van. But Have I Told You Lately That I Love You. And that one has some sentimental value too. Just the first time I ever heard that song was on believe it or not, was on a miniature golf course. And I was dating my first wife at the time, who passed away in 2004 from breast cancer. But we just started kind of talking, and that song came out on the miniature golf course. And I was like, man, that is an awesome song. And I'd been a Van Morrison fan up to that point anyway, but I had not heard that song. And I was like, man, that is a killer song. And anyway, all that to say, that's probably one of my opinion is the best song ever written. Van Morrison's Have I Told You Lately That I Love You. And then the third question was, how do I keep track of my record collection? And that's something I would really like to do in this upcoming year. I don't really have any method right now. I basically I kind of know what I have, but there have been times where you're out, looking through stuff, and you're like, oh man, this is a great album, and you pull it out, and it's in really nice condition, and you think, oh, I don't know if I have this or not, and so you get it home, and obviously it's a duplicate. So I need to be more diligent about keeping track of that and organizing things a little better. So that's one of my goals for 2020 is to have a better way of keeping track of my collection. One record I would never sell is the fourth question, and That one, I don't have a physical copy of it. It's packed away somewhere, but my first wife and I made a record, or a CD, years ago when we first got married. We were married in 1995, and it was an album called You Move Me. Her name was Chris Reffitt, and I would never sell. I think I have like one copy of that left, and I would never sell it. Not that I don't know that anybody would necessarily want to buy it, but if they did, I definitely wouldn't be able to sell that one. That one's really near and dear to my heart, and I always want to keep that in my collection. So, my favorite music documentary. That's question number 5. I would have to say Wilco, Ashes of American Flags. I'm a huge Wilco fan. Love Jeff Tweedy, his songwriting. And that film, Ashes of American Flags, is just a great, it just basically it's just like kind of following them around touring, and just get some up close and personal shots and some stuff with the band throughout that tour. And just absolutely love that. And probably a second one would be I'm Trying to Break Your Heart. That's the other documentary that Wilco did. Again, just a fabulous, the way that thing is put together is just really, really cool. And just a huge, huge Wilco fan. So those two would be my favorite music documentaries. There's a ton of other ones, but those two kind of were the first ones that popped in my head. Favorite record I've received as a gift, that'd be question number 6. And that one, I chose the Beatles, the White Album. It's the remixed version. It's a remastered version of it. And man, this thing sounds amazing. My friend Scott and I, known Scott for a long time, and both huge Beatles fans. And that was one that he got me a couple years ago. And actually, I'm sorry, last year. It was last year that he picked that up for me for Christmas. And just absolutely love that album. So that's one of my favorite records that I've received as a gift. Listening ritual. Well, I don't really have a ritual so much as just basically just pouring up a cup of coffee or a beverage of choice, and just kicking back in the back room in my chair, throwing on a good record and just chilling out and enjoying the time and just the vibe that goes on with that. Absolutely love that. Some of my most cherished time is that, just sitting down after a hard day and just relaxing with some good music and a good beverage. And nothing real exciting there, but it is my ritual of the way I listen to my music. So anyway, so that's my entry for the contest for the 7,000 subscribers. Again, congratulations on that, Dylan. That's awesome. And hopefully I win. If not, hey, it's cool to make videos and to get to know other people in the VC, which is, again, like I said, like that's what I'd really like to do anyways. So all that to say, thanks a lot for watching, and check out Dylan's channel. And thanks again. This is Ron, and hope you guys have a great night. Thanks a lot.